Grant Bittler. Mason Brown.
Here.
Clayton. Cable. Ms. Campbell's here. Matthews here. Nolan.
Here.
Joe Garcia.
Here.
Yusef.
Here.
Simeon is here.
Yep.
Scott.
Here.
Megan Matthews. Bren.
Here.
Matthew Montana. Allison. Naik is here.
Yep.
Soliver. Here. Nagini's here. Monet. Pierce. Chris. Tahir is not here. Griffin. How's everybody? What, 3 weeks left? Is that it? It's quick, huh? So I'm teaching in the summer online courses. This is not one of the courses. Business 137, if you haven't taken management, it'll be an 8-week course. I think starts May 18th. It's under BUS 137, my last name, Myers. And I'm teaching a new course called Personal Finance. So if you're looking for some summer courses that are online, sign up before they fill up. I don't know if registration is open for everybody, but it has open for, I think, honor students or something. Is anybody registered for summer?
I'm registering right now.
Huh?
I'm registering right now.
Okay.
For the app.
Take out a sheet of paper, not a quiz. Half sheet, full sheet, put your name on it. Not a quiz.
That's okay.
Hey, you want?
You said the class you're teaching was business 137?
Myers. Should be 2 sections of it.
Okay.
I want you to answer these questions truthfully and honestly. It's not graded. Number 1, what are communication skills to you? What do they mean? What are communication skills? What are communication skills? Number 2, what job or career can you get with bad communication skills? What jobs are available to you? There are some. 3. Seniors, baby boomers, Gen Xers all think, when I say all, not everybody, but most, think that your communication skills suck. Why? Not everybody.
Can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
Why do we think your communication skills stink? Maybe you've heard it, maybe you have. Two more. Number 4. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being phenomenal, 1 being really, really bad. Where do you rank your communication skills? What number?
Is it 10 or 100?
1 to 10. 10 being phenomenal, perfect, unbelievable. Martin Luther King-ish. And the last question. What are you doing today to ensure you're improving them? If nothing, nothing. What are you doing right now, today, this week, this month, to ensure you have the most important skill for success after college? By far, nothing comes close. What are you doing? When you're done, pass them to the aisle so I can pick them up. Not graded. No right and wrong answers. Everybody's? What's your name, your last name?
Cable?
Okay, so somebody tell me, what are they? What are communication skills?
I think it's the ability to clearly and succinctly get your point across.
I like it. Anybody else?
Not scared to ask questions.
Part of it, that's good, love it. What else?
Able to connect with the people around me.
Do what?
Able to connect with the people. around
Connect with people, yep, absolutely. There's 5 of them. People that have good, I hate to say good, it has to be better than good, above average. Great, communication skills. Life is so much easier for them. They get what they want, most of the time. They get more jobs, better jobs, promotions. They feel better, they got confidence. They live in bigger houses. Life's easier. Those that don't have good communication skills, average and below, struggle. See it every day. Students from Wake Tech come back. NC State, Meredith, all come back. They get walked on, walked over, left behind. They work 3, 4, 5 jobs. And yet, we don't really think about it until it's never too late. But when you're looking and you're out of school, it feels like it's too late. So there's 5 categories of communication skills. Has anybody taken a class? Communications class?
I think introduction to communication.
Good. Where? In high school or here?
Up here.
Marcia McCoy?
No, her name was Miss Matthew.
Any good?
She was a good teacher.
Should be required. It was one of those 4 classes I put on the board in addition to consumer behavior, personal finance, communication/sales, and global competence. One of the 4. So there's 5 categories. One is writing. Writing skills. I would love to show you what I get in terms of emails and texts. Most of them I can't read. Now, I have the problem too, but the difference between, I fly through emails. You've seen them. I make I make mistakes. But the difference between you and I is I got a job. You know what I mean? Now, when I'm writing Dr. Rawls, I make sure, or my dean, I make sure to proofread it, or have someone look at it, run spell check. Because one word misspelled, one comma missed, says what about you? To people that don't know you. What does it say?
You're a professional.
Not prepared, lazy, uneducated, ain't the guy for the job. And so, we have to work on our writing skills. They're not teaching in high school here. Did they just give up? What's more important than writing skills? Trying to find a job. You see the cover letters I get to look at. Not just Wake Tech, but other four-year schools. You should see them. Paragraphs that don't have indentations in them. There's no new paragraph. It's 15 different things in one paragraph, the whole page. College students? Really? We bold, capitalize. What happens when you bold something? What does it tell the other person? You're pissed off, you're angry, you're yelling.
Not necessarily. Reading like an article could just be something that's important, right? I mean, I just edited stuff because.
Yeah. But as a boss, emailing your team, all in caps,
Right.
they're gonna stay away from you. And no communication in business means what for the business? When people aren't talking. What does it mean?
No business.
In business. Collapse, toxic environment, everybody's afraid. But that's a whole nother thing. We don't have commas, we don't have periods, we're not capitalizing, we're starting paragraphs or notes to professors. Hey, you, hey. I'm fine with it, I'm just telling you after this life, after Wake Tech life. Hey, you is not gonna work. LOLs aren't gonna work. Working from home, WFH, never heard that before. Working from, WFH. Okay, I had no idea what that meant, I had to ask. Writing skills are more important, but no one's talking about it. But the only way you find out how bad they are is you're not getting called for the job you want. Any comments or ways that maybe somebody here is working on improving them? Other than taking a writing course, that's good.
I'm about to open up a blog page on my, like it's an additional page that you can just look at on my website for my business.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start doing that every day amongst like Facebook and Instagram and everything else to kind of like communicate with the clients and then like send them emails and like updates and like even if they're like not.
So practicing yourself.
booked. Yeah, yeah,
Practicing's good.
to keep up with everybody.
But you gotta have somebody to look at it to say, hey, Matt,
Yeah, no, we have viewers,
okay.
I mean, so like, all my classes I write essays, I go to the professor, I'm like, hey, what do I need to do? You know, like, for example, I got like a 90 on an essay, I'm like, what do I need to do to get 100, you know?
Okay. Good, you're asking how you can improve, that's good. Most of us aren't. Now, maybe everybody here is, I don't know you. But I'm saying as a generation, statistically, most of you aren't. Yeah.
I know like my English class, they have us like write in like our own personal journal, and he has us like look at, basically kind of like every other class, and then he'll like give us like little details about like what we should do better, kind of like grammar wise and stuff like that, and he'll give us like background details like on that writing.
What? Anybody else? Number 2 or number 5? Gotta put star here. Listening skills, that's a skill. I'd play the telephone game in here if COVID wasn't an issue, where I tell 5 of you, one at a time, a story, and then you come get somebody and tell them a story, and we see where that story goes after 5 people. It's usually interesting. Even when we're concentrating on listening, we're not listening. Because we've lost our listening skills. Why? That's what they're saying. Why is listening so hard today? Where'd that come from?
Social
Yeah.
media.
Attention spans are way too short. So we miss vital information in college and in jobs, and personally. Social media, I give 99% of the problem, but that's me. It doesn't, I don't know, that's just me. That's what I've seen. Or we're just not interested. I get that, but that's a small piece. I guess the distraction has ruined this. And when you're not listening and you're showing the person on the other end that you're not listening, what does it tell that person?
You don't care?
Even when we do care, it's showing them, I don't care. It's one thing in class, but it's another thing in the meeting. Because the ramifications in the meeting are terminations. No promotions. You're isolated. You're not gonna listen to me? We're done. Judgments are made. Some teachers get really offended by it, others just accept it. I'm one of those, I just accept it. It's fine. But if we don't listen, you're not only sending the wrong message, but you're missing information to get yourself ahead. Social media is 99% of the reason. We'll look at it a little bit more in a minute. even when we try to listen now, in the last 20 years, we can't, because of that phone. It's not good for our careers, I'll tell you that. Verbal, nonverbal. Verbal is 7%, nonverbal is 93% of what we're actually saying. Has anybody taken a body language course in their lives? Seminar, a class that had it, nonverbal communication? See, another skill that should be a course, because it just helps you like you wouldn't believe, and it's fun. What people really think. That show Lie to Me. It's really close to that. I can tell micro expressions, the way you stand, the handshake, how fast you walk, the grip, nodding of the head, yes or no, micro, the scratching of the face, in the back of the neck, the putting something between us. I can tell what's going on. Because I took 4 days of it in Dallas. I was sent there to learn body language. My college didn't teach me either. If you're in sales, you make a lot of money because prospects lie to you all the time. If you're in management, your employees are always giving you excuses. If you really want to know what's going on, no body language. 93% of what they're telling you is nonverbal. We know in this culture, eye contact means we're telling the truth when we stare at each other in the eyes, right? If I ask you, did you steal that car? And you went, no. We don't know what you mean. You're lying. Looking down to the left. Looking up to the right means you're embellishing. It's the creative part of our brain. You don't want to lie, but you're lying. You don't want to, though. Looking down the left is a quick no. I'm lying. You ask me if I stole that car, and I say, did I steal that car? And I repeat exactly what you said, I'm lying, even if I'm looking at you eye to eye. If you ask me, did I steal that car, and I say no, I'm more likely telling the truth. If you ask me if I'm stealing that car, and I look at you and don't lose eye contact and say, no, absolutely not. Am I lying?
I don't know.
Well, I'm lying because I put a marker between us. Not everybody does, and no one knows it. Hey, Jeff, my computer internet went down last night.
Means you're lying.
I put a piece of paper across.
Yeah.
You're at a job interview, you ask the boss, is this a happy culture or a toxic culture? Oh, we got a phenomenal culture here. It's really good. People are happy. Period. Could be a paper clip or a pen or a coffee cup slid right in between us. It's a barrier because we're uncomfortable. It's how we walk. Call my name.
Jeff.
What's going on, man? Simeon, what's up? What does this tell you? What does this tell you? I got other places to go, dude. I'm not that interested, but what? Even with a smile. Call my name.
Hey, yo, Jeff.
What's up, man? I'm engaged.
We can stay down.
You're my number one priority right now. I do this all the time. Hey, Jeff, what's up? I want to go. We shake hands differently, too. People that do this. Hi, nice. No, we're not going to shake hands.
Hey, yo.
We do this. Hi, nice to meet you, Jeff Myers. What does this say?
Means like
I
you're,
gotta get the hell out of here.
yeah.
It's face to face? Boom. I'm interested. Guys, you been out on a date lately? First date? Look under the table and see where her feet are pointing.
What's that?
If they're at an exit, she's going as far as she can go without getting up and leaving. Ain't going to. That's 100%. And check the shoes. They're always pointed to the door when they're not having a good time. I've never seen that, but once you want to know this, you know the handshake. I love doing the handshake, but we can't. It tells you everything about everybody within a millisecond. That firm grip, up and down, face to face, smile, 3 seconds, not less than 3 seconds, 3 seconds. Otherwise, you interpret it this way. Hi, my name's Jeff Myers. What do we do with people that we pull back? What do we think about them? They're not confident, or they don't want to be there, or they don't like you. When we role play those handshakes in class, if it wasn't for COVID, you'd all have a partner. And I'd watch. You should see what I see. I see stuff like this. I see stuff like this. I don't know what it is. I see people pull back right away and then fold their arms and step back. The other person subconsciously or knowingly says, no. We all make judgments, but no one's teaching. You're sitting in the lobby waiting for your interview or the dream job at SAS. Takes one person, comes out, nice to meet you. Oh, no, sorry. Done. Milliseconds. You don't get that in a rejection letter, by the way. They don't tell you your handshake sucked. They just don't call you, they ghost you. Or you get that standard reply, really excited you came in, we'll keep your resume for another year, feel free to apply again. It's because of this. Or your writing skills. People that we'll get the presentations in a minute, people that get up in front and grab their, what's this mean?
Nervous.
They don't know the content. Teachers that talk like this, that are rubbing their fingers, it's called the self-touch. Oh my God, I gotta get through this. They don't know it. They're BSing. So it's life-changing. It's $500 for a seminar. But you add a whole new language to your vocabulary. And you really see how many times people around us are lying and embellishing. It's good to know. Verbal is important for those that are sitting down with their employee, discussing an issue, interviewing, counseling, getting your debate across to another person. If you can't do that, you're the one that gets walked over. You have to be able to take control and express your point of view clearly and in a way that gets their attention and convinces them. And the only way to get better at it is put your phones down. We don't text and email in the office when there's issues. That only inflames them. And if we don't use our language, just like a foreign language, if you don't use your German, your mind goes to mush with German. If you don't use your mind and you took Spanish and were fluent and you don't use it, your mind goes to putty, mush, and you forget it. And that is what's happening with your English language, with communication skills. It's up to you to solve it. It's not me. This is all we'll talk about after this class, and it's up to you. No one's going to handhold you on this. It's up to you. And it's an unfair advantage because I wasn't born with this. You were. It's unfair. I know. Life sucks. This came into being. You were born with it. You started with it. Doesn't make it easy, though. It doesn't make an excuse when you can't communicate in business. Now we have one more. Group presentations. What CEO, vice president, sales manager, entrepreneur can own a business if they can't stand up and talk in front of a group? No. Doesn't work. Your people will leave. There's no respect. This is the scary one too. This is the one that we all fear at the end of the semester. I know I did. That's all I thought about. What are they gonna think when I'm up there looking at the note cards? Oh my God, I'm gonna be judged. Oh, God, there's no way I can get through it without reading the note cards. They're all gonna think I stink, and I can't do this. Stressful. Something called Toastmasters will fix it for you. You've heard of Toastmasters? Anybody?
Waffles?
Huh?
Waffles, like toast waffles?
No.
What are you talking about?
Toastmasters.
Toastmasters.
Yeah, you're talking about waffles?
I don't know, I thought
Are you
toaster.
hungry?
Toast sounds like food.
I'm listening, trust me, you can realize everything you said. I was just.
Toast
carry
sounds
on.
like food.
I wasn't a joke, it wasn't a joke at all.
I'll take it that way.
I got you laugh.
Toastmasters is a seminar to fix our fear of being up in front of a group. Expensive. It's a day, full day, 8 to 5. They come to the North Raleigh Hilton, the Sheridan. You sign up, you're in with 50 strangers, and there's a fishbowl up at the top by the lectern that you stand behind. And each one of you has to go up to the fishbowl, pick a subject out, and talk about it for 30 minutes, no matter what it is. That's stressful. I picked Florida.
Talk about
Florida for a half hour.
goldfish. You had to talk about a goldfish for like 30 minutes?
Not a goldfish, that was a fish bowl.
Oh, just a fish bowl? Oh.
Yeah. The fish bowl had 100 topics in it.
Just the bowl.
Oh, it had the topics inside.
And I
of it.
picked a topic out of it, and it was Florida. Now, I know about 5 minutes on Florida. Hi, I've been to Florida. It's hot, it's humid. I went to Disney World, I went to Miami, beautiful condos, the beaches, and then after 5 minutes, I was done. But I still had to stand up there for 25 minutes and ad lib in front of strangers. I said a lot of, oh, God, I don't know, what time is it? That's uncomfortable. And they teach you a few tips. It'll never be as bad as that for me, no matter where I go, because I'll prepare. My confidence went through the roof on my next presentation because I prepared it the day before. I didn't just pick something out of a fishbowl. So all of a sudden I realized preparing works. Practice works. Steve Jobs prepares 100 times before his speech. He did the speech 100 times. So he was flawless. You can do 10. I can do 10. Maybe not 100. And they also taught me 2 things. One is eye contact in this culture. We're all used to that. When I'm talking to you, I forget about everybody else. I don't care if there's 50 or 5,000. Hey, what's up? And then I move to the next person in the audience. I block everybody else out. We're used to that. But what do the high schools still do? And I hope they didn't do that here. They tell you to pan the audience. What is that? Look over their heads. We can tell you're looking over our heads. We have a book rep, and she's really good. She knows her stuff. But she comes to North Campus, there's only 12 of us in the meeting room. She puts her thing up, you know, the PowerPoint, and she talks, and then she does this. So does anybody have any questions? I can't buy a book from her. She can't hold eye contact. And then the other thing they taught me was humor. Get them to laugh a little bit. Relax them. If they can laugh, don't get them to laugh too much about you. Don't really make them laugh. A little bit of a, ease up a little bit, joke a little bit about yourself, make some, confidence for some, I don't know why, but it does go up. Relaxes you. I found that out 4 years later when my friend asked me to give a speech at Irregardless Cafe. I don't know if that's still around. It's by Charlie Goodnight's. And it was supposed to be a talk on outside cold calling, knocking on doors, getting appointments and making deals. And she said, 40 will be there, it's a small place, no problem. So I got there and I couldn't find parking. And I parked like a half mile away. There's parking. This couldn't be, there must be other speakers. And I walk in and all these guys in suits and women in pantsuits and drinking coffee. It's full and they're in the back. And Kimberly goes, I was this close to running. I had note cards. And there was a little stage, there was no place to put the note, I couldn't hide behind anything. So I almost bolted. And she called my name and everything, it was like slow motion. And now I was like in another world, I'm just like frozen, walking up with my note cards. And because they couldn't see me use note cards, and I came up with the suit and tie and I froze. Has anybody done that? Like froze, giving a speech in high school, you just literally froze, you lose where you're at. I know what to do. And then I remembered Toastmasters. Eye contact and make a little bit of fun of yourself. Tell them a funny story. So I looked down, there was a table of 3 guys, and I said, how's your week going? He goes, it's brutal, man. I said, brutal? You should have heard what happened to me yesterday. I said, I had a BlackBerry at the time. BlackBerry, I love those. I said, my buddy Bob, he changed the ringtone without telling me. He changed it to a fire alarm. And I was taking a shower, and it went on. Yeah, I jumped out, the curtain ripped. I'm like, I never, where? And then I figured out he changed my ringtone. I was pissed, but I was laughing. And I got dressed, I was going to O2 Fitness. Why am I taking a shower before that? I never understood that, but I walked in, and I was thinking about it the whole time, laughing, trying to give him a call. And I walked in, and she goes, sir, you weren't down in that. I forgot to put on pants. I had boxers. I forgot to put my workout pants on. I walk in with boxers. So everybody was laughing. There was a true story. It's on video, I'm sure. Security video. But if it wasn't for Toastmasters, I can tell you right now, I'd still be up on that stage frozen. Because I didn't know what to say. They say this is your number one fear in life. I don't know. Seinfeld said if you're given at a funeral, what's it called? Eulogy. You're actually wishing you were dead in the box more than being up there. We're more afraid of speaking than death. I don't know about that, but most of us are afraid. I was. You have to know how to do this. Take a class or what? Huh? Go to YouTube.
Yeah.
You have it all there. YouTube's better than any university. They have 1,000 videos on how to give a public presentation, how to write better, how to write a resume, how to write a cover letter, how to write your employees, how to listen better. It's all there. There's no excuses for you not getting better. But we don't. And I think the reason, and this came up in my other class at North Campus, we really just don't believe it until we're in that situation. And I'm here to tell you, you will be in that situation, guaranteed. So you better start working on it right now, because panicking after graduation, trying to get somewhere, it is a confidence downer, let's just put it that way. You don't want to be in that position. I know too many people that are scared to do another thing because they're traumatized of their first couple days at work. They weren't prepared. You don't want to be there. Any questions on that before I run this video? Let's see what a couple of you said. What is communication skills? Being able to listen, understand, writing, presentation, body language. Ability to be open about feelings and not scared to ask questions, yeah. Being able to communicate clearly to others by doing things like having good body language, listening, learning, good. Share your thoughts sincerely and clearly. Okay, skills that you, when speaking to others, interpersonal skills. Communication skills are skills used to engage with another person, such as listening, body language, and speaking. So we got a lot of that even before I talked about it. That's good. All right, what was the second? Oh yeah, what type of jobs can we get? I'm interested in that. We had some good ones yesterday. Well, low-paying jobs. Like what? Warehouse factory. Yeah. Trash man, which is not a low-paying job, by the way. Chicago, they make 92.
Yeah,
I know.
pension too, right?
Huh?
They got a pension, right?
I get everything. The union, pension, benefits, time, vacation, making 92 grand. Not bad. Low skills jobs, electrician, I don't know, but electrician, you gotta talk with the customer, don't you? Programmer, okay, data entry, I think you don't have to have great skills.
Fast food.
Yeah,
They have worse, they have the worst meals, except for like Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, the
Or
interview.
you wanna
The
do
interview's
there?
tough to get into Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
They really interview you. Yeah, fast food. Food Lion. So there are jobs, it's just, are those the jobs you want as a career? They don't pay your mortgage. Not today, not in this area. Home prices have doubled. They don't pay for your standard of living, Food Lion jobs. But there are jobs. Factory, warehouse, janitor, a UPS driver. They make good money too. Truck driver, truck drivers are also making big money. Overnight jobs. An overnight job where you don't have to speak to anyone. That sounds very covert.
Like third shift at like grocery
Cleaning
stores.
these.
Huh?
Like third shift at grocery stores.
What's that? A stacker or a stocker.
Yeah. I did,
What are they paying?
where I worked at.
Higher tier.
I worked at Harris Teeter and the night shift, they got like 14 an hour.
50 now?
But Harris Teeter does not pay their employees at all. It was better than everybody else.
I'm sure there are jobs like fast food, but if you want to be, but you won't be successful long term. Data entry, manual labor. Okay, honestly, I don't know. Maybe working in an office. No. You need communication skills in an office. All right? Number 3. Why? Well, because we know everything. I don't think that's the main reason. And no, you don't know everything. Not able to convey the message, lack of skill development, yeah. Our generation grew up in an era of technology, that's the big one. Technology, social media and smartphones. Maybe they are very open and knowledgeable with interpersonal skills. Phones, technology, less face-to-face interaction. We use technology too much. That damn phone. All we do is text people on our phone and never really communicate with people in person, so our skills are bad. I agree. Not everybody. Because we use our phones to talk, text, never have face-to-face conversations. So that brings me to a question that I didn't ask you, that came up in the other class. What is research saying about this, other than bad communication skills? What's coming out? Simon Sinek, I sent a video early on in this class about this being a drug, dopamine, What is the research now saying? As they've looked deeper and deeper into it, thank God, in the last year and a half. What is it saying about what's happening? Other than lack of jobs and being prepared? Depression. It's like up 10 times what it was in my years. Depression, and why is that? I'm not a psychiatrist. I think I know, but see if you do. Why are depression levels so damn high today?
Because people let social media, I wrote about that. When you go on social media and stuff, you can create like a false image of like.
False images.
And so it has people thinking they should be this or that, when in actuality, it's just.
It's almost the
what someone
opposite.
Created, yeah.
We look at all these people living the dream. Look at her.
It looked like they lived.
Well, I know, but they certainly put, when do we put up somebody that's sitting on the couch? When do we put ourselves up sitting on the couch bored? We always put up where things are going great, and we're at the swimming pool, and life is phenomenal, and I know a lot of people that their Instagram looks really exciting, but they're miserable. That's what they tell me. I know their real life. One is my sister.
That's
We-
why you say never look at social media.
But we
as a
are,
foundation.
because we're addicted. And that's creating anxiety, stress, low confidence. How come that ain't happening to me? That's one thing that's coming out. What's another thing coming out? Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it as a drug, I mean, like drugs, you need more and more, you know, to do it, but we can only, you know, share a limited time with our phone. Like, we can maybe spend like 8 hours on the phone, but I guess we can go
8
more,
hours?
but there's a limit, you know.
No. not
Drugs and
really.
alcohol are regulated. This isn't. This is dopamine. Same thing. Makes us feel good short term. We crave human interaction, the touch. Yet now we're moving from this to the metaverse. What is that gonna do? I hope there's careers in Meta. I mean, I hope you can go to work in Meta, because that's gonna keep kids that are 8 hours a day, 24/7. It's up to you to fix it. All right, we have 4 to 8, somewhere in the range. A 3, 5, and a 4, 7. 7 or 6, 7 or 8, 7, that's pretty high. 6, 6, anything 7 and above is pretty high. I mean, that's pretty dang good. 7 or 8, 5, 8 or a 10, okay? 6, and 8. If you're above a 7, you're where I am, but it took me a long time. I'm not a 10, but I'm probably about an 8.5, 8. I had really bad communication skills in college and high school, and it took me a long time, but my college didn't prepare me. I had to learn it with a mentor who sent me to seminars to be able to understand, to listen, to verbalize and read body language, and give group presentations with Toastmasters. I'm an 8.5. Let's take a look at a video of what employers need from
Can I
you
say
guys.
something?
Sure.
So, I don't know, my mom raised me pretty well, like, you know, to speak freely and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I've learned, I worked with seniors most of my life, so I've learned to like, be able to listen to what people say, but also, I don't wanna say, like, okay, for instance, I had a friend and she was showing me a conversation through text message of her and another person. And so I'm reading it, and I had to read it multiple times before I was actually able to pinpoint like what the person was saying and how they were, I could tell how they were feeling. She wasn't understanding it. So I had to break it down to her because she didn't get what I was saying. And she was like, well, I see it like this, that, third. I'm like, well, you look at it this way. This person said X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. I said, they didn't say, oh, such and such. She's like, oh, I learned. And I guess that comes from me dealing with the seniors and they have dementia and stuff, and you have to deal with them a certain type of way. Learning, knowing about them. A lot of times they might know something that they want to say, but they don't know how to articulate it. They don't come out right. So you have to learn them, especially each person on an individual basis. So I'm really good at communicating. I have people tell me like, oh, you're talking to me about one of your patients, and I'm like, well, it's not that. It's just that I try to communicate in an effective manner, but everybody's not used to that. So,
You're saying to me, I think, you have empathy,
yes,
you listen and change your communication style based on your audience, who you're talking with.
mhm,
That's a skill. A lot of times we assume everybody listens the same or has the same understanding. Not everybody interprets what I'm saying the same way. I gotta slow down, I gotta speed up, I gotta repeat. Inflection of voice gets people's attention, silence gets people's attention. So there's lots of ways to keep the audience engaged, whether it's 1 or 30. And those are all communication skills, mainly in the group presentation, but verbal too, one-on-one. You know when you're losing somebody's attention, don't you?
mhm,
It's easy. If you understand body language, they could be trying to show you they're listening and they're not, you'll know it.
yeah.
And if that's a customer, well, what if it's a boyfriend or a husband? I'm telling you, this beautiful when it comes to relationships. Seeing what's really going on. Just saying, it's not all about business.
These are in no particular order, and some of them overlap. I just listed them in a way that made sense to me. But I'm still going to count it down for dramatic effect. Collectively, the list answers the big question, what are communication
Now,
skills?
somebody could have spoken up and said, I can't see it. No, I figure is not the same.
Number 10 is public speaking and presentation skills. This is probably the most recognizable communication skill of all time. It could be a big presentation or speech, but it could also mean standing up to share a 3-minute message in front of a small group at a meeting. It's unusual that entry-level employees are great at this unless they majored in communication in college. But on the flip side, if you are a strong stand-up speaker, you will instantly separate yourself from the crowd. People see good public speaking and they say to themselves, that's a leader. Number 9 is persuasive skills. Persuasive skills are crucial because we are constantly making requests for approval and support. The most effective persuasive communication usually involves explaining to listeners that there's some need or problem, and then asking them to support your proposed solution. This certainly happens while you're standing up presenting, but this could happen one-on-one as well, or in a group meeting, even in an email or written proposal. Number 8 is interpersonal skills. This is that type of one-on-one communication we do with our friends and significant others. At work, we interact one-on-one with colleagues, supervisors, and subordinates. There are constant demands on task-related communication, like dealing with facts, figures, and spreadsheets, all while working under pressure. This context makes it all the more important that we take the time to also interact in supportive and respectful ways to create mutual understanding and satisfying connections. Number 7 is listening skills. This is perhaps the most underrated communication skill I know of. Good listening is a hidden superpower. This involves removing distractions, tuning in, and preparing yourself to absorb the other communicator's message. This could be listening carefully to learn a new skill or important information, or it could be listening to be a supportive ear and build genuine relationships at work. I have heard it said that good leaders are good listeners. Closely related is number 6, communicating with empathy. This cuts across all communication contexts. Empathy is our ability to put ourselves in the other person's shoes to feel what they might be feeling. That empathy helps us understand where people are coming from, and it builds trust. When we care and keep other people's interests in mind, we are very likely to create more helpful outcomes.
Okay, take out a sheet of paper. Put your name on it.
They're not running right
What was the first skill he talked about? What was the second? Was the first skill? Oh, looking.
That the video you took me?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you're done, flip it over. You should know by now, or not. Make sure your name's on it, pass it to the aisle.
This is as great as it is. Well, there's your name on it, so.
Guess you didn't listen.
Listen, we're supposed to put our name on it.
Yes.
I think it was good.
What? I don't know how to say exactly. Go and turn right.
I think the second one was listening, but I don't know.
Halfway down.
It was one of the five.
Says restroom.
It's funny, I looked at it too, but then
I know.
I didn't like process it.
Right.
But I looked at it.
But looking doesn't mean you listen,
I
you
know.
comprehended it.
Yeah, I had a nice class.
Okay, so the first thing was what?
I was so-
Put your name on it. So if I have sheets without your name, I can't give you extra credit points. Number two, what was the first one he talked about? What? Public speaking. And the second one was what?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Persuasive.
Oh,
Okay? Persuasive. So if you got both, anybody get both right? Griffin? Okay. You get 10 extra points on test number 3. Okay. So even trying to listen, if you were, some of you were, some of you weren't. Even trying to listen, we're not comprehending it because of the distractions. We're not comprehending what we're reading in class either because of the phone and distractions. Wake Tech says 4 to 6 hours per class you should prepare. We're not doing it. I have students tell me what they're doing, and it's a lot less than 4 hours. It's a lot less than 2 hours. Because we don't feel we're comprehending anything. Well, that's because of this.
Five is providing and accepting feedback. As a supervisor, you will have to provide your employees with feedback to help them develop. And we can't just point out their mistakes. Constructive feedback should include some specific coaching to help people make improvements. It's equally important to hear and receive feedback. It's easy to get defensive, especially when feedback is not explained in a helpful way. But if you can learn to be open to feedback and find something helpful in it, others will count it as a valuable communication skill.
What's the difference between criticism and constructive criticism? Have we heard?
I think it's providing, criticism is basically just saying this is a bad idea, whereas constructive criticism is saying this is a bad idea, this is what we need to do to fix it.
Okay, good, I like it. Anybody else? Constructive criticism, they're different.
It's constructive criticism is to help you.
Help you, that's what it's there for.
Versus criticism could be just to like put you down or.
You answer me this, I don't know if it's true or not, that's just what I hear. And what I saw in my last 5 years of managing, you don't take constructive criticism very well either, true or false?
I'm learning.
Okay, learning, good.
Depends on who communicates.
We don't take criticism and constructive criticism, we take it personally, we internalize it too much, we get angry, and that's an issue in business between you and your manager. Why is that true? First of all, I don't know. Is that true or false? It's true.
It's not true for everybody.
We never said everything.
Yeah, but like.
For those that it's true for, you have to realize that if someone's giving you constructive criticism, they are doing it for different reasons than criticizing. Criticizing is kind of a power trip. I'm gonna get back, it feels good. Constructive criticizing means, I need you to get better. For many reasons. For me, telling people to get better was because I was the only one in the office that made money on their sales. I wanted them to get better. Not everybody took my constructive criticism well either. He's picking on me, he's coming at me, no. I want you to do better so that you make more money and I make more money. I have a reason for wanting to help you. Now, I'm not sure where this comes from because 20, 30 years ago, everybody handled constructive criticism. They knew that it was a helpful tool. But today, it's a problem. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if that's a parenting issue. I can't comment on that because I don't have kids. My sister does, and I see what she's doing. She has a son that's 13 that never's been told that something's wrong, that he did something bad. Never has lost anything in his life. They cheat so that he can win, so that he doesn't start crying. He's got trophies and ribbons in his room for everything, but nothing number 1 or number 2. It's like 7th, 6th, 5th place. What is that? What's gonna happen to Sammy when he's in the real world? When a boss says, hey, Sammy, your emails to the customers, where'd you go to school? Because they're horrible. I'm only gonna lose customers, I don't wanna lose you as an employee, but you gotta fix this stuff, man. What's gonna happen to Sammy? What's he gonna do? I already told my sister. He's gonna leave, he's gonna cry, he's gonna go home, he's gonna move back into her house till he's 45.
I think it's like how the person takes it is also how they're hearing it. And it could have to do with how they grew up, like if someone grew up and their parents were very critical of them. So when someone is giving constructive criticism, all they're hearing is that same
Right.
criticize.
All right, I'll give you one example, and then we'll wrap up class. In 2010, I had a sales rep, his name was Alan. And the one thing I told all my sales reps on an appointment was not to say one thing. And that's how's business. That's how he used to start his presentation. Hey, Tim, how's business going? It's the one thing I told him not to do. Because in sales, you never ask that question because people say, who are you? I just laid people off last week. Who are you to remind me about this, right? So we went to a fairly large company in Durham. Sat down, he put his briefcase, opened his computer, and he looked over at Terry and he said, so how's business going? Well, we didn't get the deal, and part of it was that. I drove, so we went back to my car, and before I started the engine, I said this exactly. Alan, do you listen to anything I say? I've told you multiple times the one thing not to say you just said. And it's not good. I said it in that tone. I didn't yell, I didn't do anything. I'm the only one in the office that would make money on his sale. I said it just like that. He flipped out back at, not to me, but back at the office, the word from Lisa was, I ripped him apart. I mean, does that sound like I ripped him apart? I could have shown him what ripping him apart would have meant. That's what I
No,
said.
seriously.
You probably overthought it.
But, no, he,
He needs therapy, because if he
Like,
got that
constantly
out of those few words, then there's.
it was those
like-
few words, it was even calmer than what I just told you. But I had to make my point. How many times have I said that? Do you listen, Inez? Do you hear anything about what I say is the only thing that you do, and that's probably why we lost the deal. She doesn't know you. You're asking her how business, she doesn't feel that she needs to tell you. You gotta warm up, I mean, I said it really quick and nice. He couldn't take constructive criticism. He was 26. What's this on the wall? Feel bad for him or me?
I mean both, but I feel bad because it's the reason why he couldn't take the criticism.
Any questions, comments, concerns on communication?
Not the easiest thing.
I want all of you to really think about what's keeping you distracted in life right now when it comes to studying and preparing for the real world. Write it down and start fixing it. It's the best advice I can give you at this point. All right, we'll see you.
All right. Oh. Thank you.
Yeah. See ya.
Thank you.
Later.
You have a good day.
You too.